All right, good morning, Top Gun Options AR Accelerated Retirement members. Let's get ahead and throttle up, brakes, and get airborne. A little bit of short squeeze, some follow through from the Fed yesterday, which we'll talk about. The Fed minutes. What an interesting day watching the minutes come out at 2 o'clock, up, down, up, all the way up, and then slam. Perfect example of why I do not trade Fed minute days anymore because they're all over the place. Okay, heading down to the keys here as soon as we get off of this brief. Taking the kids, some kids' friends, got a house, rented a boat. Clearly not a vacation for me, but it's good stuff for the kids. Lifelong memories. We usually do a Keys trip, and it's fun. Go out to the lighthouse, do some snorkeling, go watch sunset, do all that stuff. So it'll be fun. You guys got Bart tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. He's been pumping out some charts and doing the Lord's work. And it's doing some great work, man. Really happy with everything in Tomcat charts. All you guys are pretty happy as well. Nailing these levels, and he's figuring out options along the way. So excited. Did everybody get a chance to listen? There's the SPX Slam. Did everybody get a chance to listen to the Team Never Quit podcast? Me, Marcus, Latrell, and Melanie knocked out our podcast, and it got released yesterday. I was actually laying on the couch last night as Lone Survivor came on HBO. Really, I've watched that. I've watched Lone Survivor since like before I did the medicine. So it was really interesting seeing that again. Obviously, the book is incredibly, I won't say better because it's a horrific situation, but definitely read the book when you get a chance. Hollywood's Hollywood, but really puts things into perspective. And all the healing that Marcus has gone through. Like I said, the guy's on path to become a deacon. In the past year, he's done all his Catholicism steps, hasn't had a drink. I mean, just an incredible journey of healing, incredibly powerful. So hopefully he's going to make it to our premiere. I think we're going to do a premiere on Veterans Day. We'll see. We're building an airplane in flight with this stuff. So hopefully you all get a chance to meet Marcus in the fall. Okay, we got 3 new, lifetime members. I made the mistake of giving you the $1,500 a month price instead of the $1,800 a month price. So I'll still honor that through today. Aaron just joined. Aaron's an F-15 Strike Eagle fighter strike pilot. So she just joined Lifetime yesterday. There's the monthly membership payment option to join Lifetime, folks. It is. Take a look at this. Is incredible. She is Aero, AERO. Take a look at this. Is why I'm saying this is the best hedge fund. Look at Skaggs. Had dinner with my golfing buddy last night, who's a big time in the lumber industry. He has the Pulte account and is the #1 lumber sales guy in the country. A couple of trade ideas came out of it. First, Pulte sales of new homes have almost gone to what? 0. Secondly, lumber and other building materials are going to go to 0. Why? Everybody double ordered. And now the supply chain has caught up. I have not traded the home builders, but I have heard they are valued more by book value than earnings. Correct. I'm going to look at a short strategy on Weyerhaeuser. The same phenomenon may be happening in other areas where supply chain problems and now demand is shrinking. So Skaggs nailed this. Yeah, the chip industry comes to mind. Short plays as well. Ladies and gentlemen, these businesses that have like over-ordered, holy shit, supply chain issues, they're going to be stuck with massive inventory wear on their shelves. I'm dealing with this. The roof that we're replacing, 6 months out to order the tiles. The master bathroom that we just redid. Oh, this tile, it's insanity. These people, it's just like the airline industry. Hire pilots until you furlough them until you have to hire them. So inventories are going to get a massive kick in the teeth. Yep, exactly. Same thing with retail. This is going to get a lot uglier, man. Look at Dennis. Holy shit. Folks, this is why look at Dennis. Dennis is kicking ass with the dogfighting of SPX. 22. He did a lifetime membership in 3 trading days. Look at that. He paid for a lifetime. Actually, the lifetime membership, if you do the monthly one, is 18. So that's what you want to do, folks. I just put this in here. Aaron and Steve just joined. This is the last day I'm going to honor this old price. I got a friendly reminder from my wife that it's not $1,500 a month. It's 18. That's the link that I gave you. The old, it's $1,500 because I'll honor the $1,500. If you don't do it, call it by close of business tomorrow. It's up to $1,800, the regular lifetime price, folks. Why? Look at Dennis. In 3 days, he paid for a lifetime membership, folks. There's 252 trading days. Now, past performance does not equal future results. Quack, quack, quack. I get it, but that's pretty damn good, man. That's good shit. So Skag doing some good intel, dropping and stuff like that. This is really good, good intel. All right, let's get going. The hypocrisy of Democrats and liberals knows no bounds. I posted that. Did you see the press conference with Tammy Duckworth and Governor Pritzker? They raced right to Highland Park and made 2 political speeches. It was disgusting. Their speeches were physically a disgrace. They were awful. What happened the rest of the weekend? 10 African Americans were killed in violence in Chicago. Not a word. I saw a pastor post a tweet. He's like, so when a bunch of white people get killed in an affluent suburb of Chicago, the governor and the senator, they're there in minutes to give a political speech. This, not a word out of Democrats and liberals because it doesn't fit their narrative. Does anybody know where Gavin Newsom is right now? That scuzzy American psycho? He's in Montana, which is on the prohibited list of states that you can travel to as an employee in California. Well, he's on vacation. It's so gross, their hypocrisy, right? Well, he's not on using government. Of course, he's using government funds. He's using state troopers as his security detail. I'm sure he has 1 or 2 staffers with him. He is absolutely using funds to travel to Montana. I want to know how this guy is going to run for president and debate Ron DeSantis in Florida when he can't travel to Florida. There's 22 states that state employees in California aren't allowed to use official travel to. Isn't that going to be awesome? Imagine running for president and defending how you've outlawed your state employees to go to 22 other states. Oh, because we're not the United States of America, we're the divided states. I can't wait for that guy to run for president. But the hypocrisy is just gross. The governor isn't using state funds, and you attempting to link those things together is a disgrace. You're the awful people. What? Typical limousine liberal scumbag. The rules are for thee, not for me. I am above the law. It's awful. I just don't do hypocrisy that well, folks. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, Thomas said the give back to this. It's just awful. But you see what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden was the useful idiot. Joe, it's not your time to run. It's Hillary's. Hillary lost. Joe is the 3rd runner-up. He'll govern. He's a moderate. It'll cool the temperature in the room. 81 million idiots agreed with that. And here's where the country is. They're going to throw his ass over the side of the boat in a month or two and blame him for everything. Or the Democrat Party is going to get destroyed. Why am I ranting about this? Because you're going to see a market rally when, not if, the Republicans, and I can't stand Mitch McConnell, I can't stand Leader McCarthy, they're just as bad as Democrats. But the market will like this, what's coming. All right. It's really interesting. You know, people were, of course, some Democrats were frothing at the mouth yesterday that oil dropping might mean gas prices go down a couple pennies. See, JP Morgan, about 3 days ago, oil prices could surge 240% as Russia does what? Slashes output. What's Vladimir Putin doing right now? First of all, he's printing money because he said India, the world's largest democracy, India. How are they doing on Ukraine? Not a word. You mean they're not doing sanctions? Nope. And of course, China. Like two of the largest countries on the face of the planet are ignoring the sanctions and the oil, and Putin's printing money. So he's building a war chest of money right now, rubles, not dollars, of course. And then once he's got enough fuel in his tank, what can he do? Oh, by the way, I just saw a leaf drop out my window. The temperature went down a little bit. I'm completely cutting off all oil to the West, or Germany and Western Europe. Tell me what oil does. Don't give me this. Oil price just dropped below 100. If you're that tactical, you must have whiplash. This is insane. The man is playing us like a fiddle. I told you, Germany's like, well, about 2 years from now, we currently get X amount from Russia. It'll be like half that in a couple years. Guys, you won't last the winter. Germany's going to fold like a cheap suit. I guarantee it. Boris resigned, but he's hanging out for like 4 months. That's weird. Resign, you leave, but those dudes are kind of stale. Italy's in turmoil. Just all of Europe is just kind of a clown car right now. We got war, political upheaval, central banks, a lot of crazy shit out there in Europe. China prepares a $220 billion tsunami. Wow. COVID zero isn't going anywhere. There's also zero chance that Beijing's GDP growth of 5.5 will be achieved. We looked. Let's haven't looked at it in a little while. We looked at FXI months ago, probably back here. I said, what? You want kind of a lotto ticket trade? You get long FXI calls out a couple years. Either China's going to win or they're going to absolutely implode. Did you see Director Ray, who should have been fired years ago, but Trump doesn't have any balls, and his MI5 counterpart together at a conference yesterday? What did they say? China is like the biggest existential threat to mankind. They steal everything. They're cheating. They're making sure economically that companies are dependent on China, because when they invade Taiwan, you ain't going to see LeBron James or Nike pulling out of China, folks. When, not if, China invades Taiwan, not maybe storming the beaches, but kind of a pseudo invasion, 5th generation warfare. Do not even jokingly try and tell me that McDonald's, Starbucks, Nike, all these guys are going to leave, the NBA are going to leave China. They have done a masterful job, China, at doing what they've been doing, man. They're in it for the long ball. President Trump, it's Mnuchin or Lighthizer. Yeah, we're here in China, and we were close to a deal, but they're like, you know what? We're going to hold out because we think Joe Biden's going to win. Trump, what? Get on the jet, trade war, fire another round of tariffs. Where's Trump? Golfing up the road from me. China was right. They got it right. We're going to wait for Biden because we can roll him and his crackhead son. 10% for the big guy. How about the White House completely ignoring Joe Biden voicemail? Delete Hunter Biden and put in Trump, one of Trump's kids. Hey, Hunter, it's Dad. I took care of the New York Times article about your foreign overseas business deals that I don't know about because I don't ask you about them. Love you. The White House, we're not going to comment on stuff off the laptop. So that's not his voice? 50 fucking former intelligence officials. The laptop is Russian disinformation. Joe Biden to the country in a debate. The laptop is Russian disinformation. They fucking lied. Trump was a half coward. I would have pulled all of their clearances. You mean when you retire as a CIA director, you get to keep your top secret clearance so you can do lunches and then go on CNN and be up to date with your intel? My clearance got pulled as soon as you leave the military, man. But not if you're like a politician or a statesperson or stuff like that. Okay. Jean-Claude Pierre, whatever that thing's name is, that's the press secretary. I don't want to call her female because I don't want to assume somebody's gender. That person, that's the press secretary. We're not gonna. So the president lied. Hunter clearly, the dude was on Air Force Two with his dad going to China. Was he just going with his dad for some sightseeing? It's insane. But you can't point these things out because you'll be frothed at the mouth that you're a racist, transphobe, whatever, misogynist, whatever. Anyway, I told you to get long FXI a couple months ago, and FXI has had a solid bounce. I still, since we're in accelerated retirement, I still believe that FXI is a solid buy down here. I think China's a shit show, but guess what? They're going to win. Okay? Look at the sine wave, man. That's a 10-year chart of FXI. Anybody see a trend? Up, down. They go through their crises. So this was a big one. You could double your money potentially in the FXI out a couple years. Go buy some calls out to, you can go all the way out to Jan of 24, man. Looks like there's some upside call buying. The 40 strike. Let's open this up a little bit. Yeah. There's some nice upside call buying, man. I don't think these are sold. 10, 20, 30% potential upside with FXI. I haven't talked about this in a while, probably since the last time I told you to buy FXI. So with them getting ready to unload a shit ton of stimulus, I would get long. Yeah, Mitch, we're oh, good, Aaron. There you go. Aaron's listening at least. Mitch, I mean, we build a joint strike fighter. Mysteriously, they build a joint strike fighter. That kind of looks like ours. When you're Eric Swallowwell and you cheat on your wife with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy, isn't that great? You're on the House Intelligence Committee. You go to top secret briefings in SCIFs, and you have an affair with a Chinese agent, and you're not removed from the Intel Committee. If you are an active duty officer with a high clearance level, They would have kicked open your fucking door and arrested you, and you would have been court-martialed and maybe jail. Eric Swallowwell, what a beta cuck. He's an awful human being. He's got a soul. I love him as a human being. The shell is disgusting. No shame. God. And the other guy, I have absolute proof of Trump's Russia collusion. Said it for years. The whole Russia collusion was an absolute hoax, started by the Democrats and Hillary Clinton. But this is coming from a party that, yeah, it's just, you can't. Whatever. Anyway, get bullish on China. I told you to get bullish on China. It's already gone up about $8 since I told you to get bullish on China. It's going to go up more. We already briefed this yesterday. Russia's tactical shift means they didn't do their shock and awe. They didn't get Kyiv. Zelensky didn't leave. Why? Because the defense contractors in this country said, no, dude, we'll keep supplying you weapons just enough to keep killing your people and Russians. Keep up the good work. So, tactical shift means more deaths, more destruction, more money for our defense contractors, more cushy jobs for General Austin, Secretary of Defense Austin for when he leaves the job. Russia says it actually destroyed 2 of our HIMARS. We sent them 4. Russia destroyed 50% of the HIMARS we supplied. There's your tax money, folks. Hoof. It might be propaganda, but we haven't had any comment. Here's the Russian Ministry of Defense actually showing video of the alleged destruction. Might be propaganda. I take everything I see with a grain of salt. The ghost of Kyiv has shot down 6 Russian. I'm like, okay, that's great. Oh, but he died valiantly. We can't name him. Okay. What does U.S. aid to Ukraine look like? It looks like a destroyed Russian base. The HIMARS made it to this place, and then they got blown up. It's really funny to see Gavin Newsom, the scumbag, made a commercial the other day that played down here in Florida about come to a real state. Isn't this? It's fucking fantastic. That weird governor of New York, Hochul. I'm making all these anti-gun laws. A reporter. Can you share with us the data that supports this decision? I don't need data. I'm making this decision. That's true leadership. I don't need facts. I go with my gut. Oh, okay. That's great. But the great migration out of all of these shithole states, unfortunately, to Florida and Texas, it's funny because a lot of people are like, haha, we're infiltrating those states and we're going to turn them blue. So you want to turn a good place you're moving to into the shithole you came from. That sounds like a good Democratic strategy. It cracks me up. Yeah, but we're going to flip these states. Is that the same rationale that all of the Democrats have used with all these, they assumed were Democratic embryos that are coming into this country? Do you know like 1 million Hispanics recently have registered to be Republicans? Did you see the special election down there? Hillary Clinton won that district by like 40 points. In 150 years, it's never gone Republican. It just went Republican. The Hispanic lady that won, I think that was a big underestimation. Hispanics are what? Catholic, God-fearing, or Christian, hardworking, the majority of them. That's why I love Cuban immigrants, man. They bust their ass. They're hard workers. They believe in God and have morals. That ain't the Democrats. But guess who also pays taxes in those states? The people that are leaving. Citadel, Ken Griffin moving down to Miami and buying this massive building in Brickell. Wall Street's done. Wall Street is over with. I got buddies from I got Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan up in Palm Beach and Miami. There's even a couple firms moving to Boca. Miami, South Florida will be the new financial center of the world. London's dying, New York's dying, Chicago's a shithole. Ken Griffin, one of his executives, got like mugged in the way to work. He's like, you know what? That's it. We're leaving. I'm going to Miami. What's going to happen to all these shithole states when all the rich people leave and go to Florida and Texas? Good luck. I showed you the math last week in New York of all these companies leaving, and Chicago. I think like Citadel paid like $1 billion a year in taxes to the state of Illinois. Gone. What makes up for those money? Because I seem to remember maybe that Chicago has a little bit of a pension problem. You can retire at the age of 30 as a teacher and get a full pension for the rest of your life, and a firefighter, and a folks. There is an absolute storm coming. I'm ranting about all of this because every once in a while, when we get these rallies, what happens? I get people going, hey, "Oh, is this the end of the bear market?" Folks? If you change your strategic mindset that quickly, like in a day, it ain't a strategic mindset. It's a tactical mindset. Absolutely nothing has changed strategery, to use a Bush term, to change my strategic mindset. My American Journey, sitting right there on my bookshelf. One of the books I did keep when I threw out all my trading and investing books was what? Colin Powell. Never get so close to your strategic position that when presented with new facts, you don't change it. I have been presented with one new fact. The Fed minutes yesterday, pretty freaked out about inflation, and we're going to do something about it. Good. That's your job. That ain't bullish, folks. We, ladies and gentlemen, haven't even started. About a week from now, I think a week from now, we're about to get, week and a half. Where's our calendar? There we go. A week and a half. Whoa, big. There you go. Yep, so a week and a half, ladies and gentlemen. So we have about a week and a half of kind of chop and market going up and all sorts of this shit before the financials come out and go, either the last quarter was great and the future is great, the last quarter kind of sucked but the future is great, or the last quarter sucked and the future sucks. That's the only three scenarios that can happen with earnings. Give me a vertical head nod that you understand that. Last quarter sucked, forward look sucks. That's my prediction. Last quarter medium, forward look medium. I guess there's four. Sometimes I draw that earnings square, right? Up, middle, up. I can do that. I didn't plan to do it, but I can do it. What I'm getting at, it ain't going to be, it's one out of the four, folks. One out of the four. Yeah, exactly. Come to Casablanca for the water. Yeah, Bob, you're exactly right. All those blue states want to be rescued by who? A federal bailout. We already did it. Most of that COVID bullshit that Pelosi and Schumer rammed down our throat was what? For the states. New York, New Jersey, they got billions and billions of bailout dollars. New York City broke financially, but me down in Florida helped bail them out. Kind of like Europe, where the party states of the South get bailed out by the good states of the North. Not the same split down here, because guess what? There are a couple southern states like Florida and Texas that are powerhouse economies. Okay. Jobless claims rose a little bit. But, how many of you, yesterday was a good day to dogfight SPX? I didn't. I enjoyed watching popcorn. I watched the initial reaction from the gym, and there was interesting stuff going on yesterday. So there, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 o'clock. right there. What happened? There's your initial reaction, which is always wrong, and then there's the follow-on. So the initial reaction, folks, is always bots. It's computers. It's algorithms that start firing a flurry of trades. And then they sell those flurry of trades. And then humans get involved and start reading. And then humans get involved and go, well, yay, they're going to fight inflation, but boo, everything really sucks. So this is the humans involved. But regardless, if you did that bear put spread the other day, like Dennis has been doing to the tune of 22 grand in 3 days, you could have exited your what? Short puts. If you are just an AR, I feel sorry for you, because yesterday you should have attended Debrief where we talked about dog fighting SPX. We're an AR. We should be talking longer term trades. We just did with FXI. But I'm telling you, man, when Dennis can make 22 grand in a couple days by dog fighting SPX, you should sit up and listen to it. Because aside from an FXI or the psychedelics, which we'll talk here in a second, I ain't bullish on anything. I'll eventually get bullish on Amazon and some other good names, right? When in doubt, run to Ma, but that ain't happening anytime soon. Okay, so Fed minutes, good day to eat popcorn or to dogfight your SPX trades. Or as we briefed yesterday, folks, you can dogfight anything as long as it's what? It's got movement. If you got airspeed and G in the trade, you can dogfight it. If it's boring, you can't dogfight it. Officials have indicated far less tolerance for high inflation surprises this year. Breaking news, highest inflation in 40 years. Surprise? Well, we're going to tolerate that one because it's transitory. Again, I just laugh, folks, because supposedly the most intelligent people in our country that run the White House, that run the Treasury, that run the Fed, got it completely wrong. Nobody loses their jobs when they're completely wrong in the government, only in the business world. Kind of comical, but not really. This was a great David Stockman article. As Skaggs alluded to, having dinner with his lumber guy, folks, this is the second shoe, not the second, the last shoe to drop. What am I talking about? Well, that should have been a wake-up call. The 30-year soared 24 basis points to 6. I can't believe it. Thank God I refinanced last year, or whenever that was, a year and a half ago, last year. The latter now stands at double. 2.65. Yep, 18 months ago, folks. God takes care of fools, drunks, and sailors. Holy shit. Folks, we are at the highest level since what? The tail end of the great financial crisis. Look at the 30-year mortgage rate. Straight up. When's the last time we were here? 2008. I was fatter. I had more hair, sitting in the board of trade. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fed's fake economy based on ridiculously unsustainable ultra-low interest rates is coming to a thundering end. And far more abruptly and violently than the Fed and Wall Street megaphones ever remotely imagined. You ready? Not surprisingly, the eruption of the mortgage rate depicted above has sent housing, quote, affordability where? Into the shitter. In fact, you ready for this? Housing affordability at its lowest point on record, going to the late 1980s. Needless to say, household budgets are about to get hammered, and the housing market is fixing to experience another great implosion. So, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for this? It would take a 30% drop in home prices to reverse the affordability plunge just since the pre-COVID levels. Say that with me. It would take a 30% drop in average home prices to reverse the plunge. Wow. Holy shit, man. I want that to sink in, ladies and gentlemen. I want that to sink in. What's that? It's still so the housing market. Karen just supposed to drop to 5.8. It doesn't matter. It's still double what it was 18 months ago. Unbelievable, folks. Alas, the surge in homeowners' carry costs, especially during the last 6 months, is truly startling. I can't even look at this. So, home buyers, a monthly payment on a $350,000 mortgage, which is the median price, has gone up $1,500 to $2,100, a 40% increase in 6 months. Let's go, Brandon. So whether it was intended or not, the Fed is about to unleash the biggest housing crisis since 2007. I told you this months ago. I said the other black swan will be the housing market. We have 2008 written all over us. I also said what? That would put us over where? Here. Some of you are feeling like this. Hey, it's a little rally. It's the bottom. The bear market's over with. You're wrong. You can't say, I am going to say that. This exists because it's happened over and over and over. Wiz, you can't say that because this time is different. I know it's different from all the other times this chart has happened because things are shittier. It's actually worse. So you're right. This chart can be out of date or not current for this current situation because things are worse. So we are, this is I'll share this with you. You read David Stockman. He's a smart guy. I love David Stockman. Reagan dude, very smart guy. I trust all this. This is data. This isn't commentary. This is data. These are data. Junk bond yields have doubled. Oh man, this is Chicago, man. I am on the Metro right now reading this in the Wall Street Journal. Junk bonds have jumped from 4 to 8.4. Woo! Unbelievable. I love this stuff. And then he talks about the peak to the plunge and all the FANG names. He gets into inflation. Folks, this is a must read. Transportation, treasury. This is awesome. This is your cup of coffee afternoon reading, man. This is some good shit in here. So, we talked, Mike, I think last week it was in AR. I said, get bearish on the REITs, man, and the real estate stocks. I posted that list last week, and I said I would get ready to pound these things into the dirt. Absolute short opportunities. First Guarantee Mortgage 2-3 days ago filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Our friend Kat, mortgage company in Delray Beach, gone. 50% of their company, we're told, don't come into work the next day. That was a couple weeks ago. This is the other shoe, guys. I briefed you on it, and we're in it. Folks, this stuff doesn't reverse today. It doesn't. This is getting worse as we go. That's why every once in a while, folks, you got to grab the stick and do what? You got to roll inverted in this market. Everybody's sitting here like, I think this is the bottom. Anybody see a trend here? I'm no rocket surgeon, man. Who of you think this is going to happen? It can happen on what? Peace in Ukraine. Okay. Ukraine's going to get worse. The Fed stopping what they're doing. If the Fed stops raising interest rates and like starts printing more money, we all burn up from inflation even higher. Build back better. More inflation, worse. You can't. Somebody give me the bullish case. I'm telling you, man, every once in a while, whenever you feel one of these, oh my God, the bear market's over with, roll upside down. The only bullish case I'm going to give you is out here, and it's in November. Hopefully Republicans can stop some of this shit show that's going on. I don't trust them. Paul Ryan was an idiot. He was a rhino. So, CHYna offers to say us are back. Yeah, Jack, it's the David Stockman article is right here. So crypto's imploding, real estate is imploding, everything's imploding, folks. This was a good one. Kid posted this in the Max Afterburner thread this morning. I read this. This one was awesome. This was a really good read. Artificial wealth versus GDP, why earnings in the stock market will get crushed. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, for the folks like yesterday or like with the Fed rallies, like, I think this might be the bottom. It's over with. We haven't even fucking started earnings yet, folks. We've had 3 months since we've last heard from companies. What's happened in the past 3 months since, let's roll Verdant. What's happened in the past 3 months since we've heard from companies? This, and oil's gone up, inflation's gone up, pessimism has gone up. So, you know, this is a good one. I'd afternoon coffee this one too. Imaginary wealth and hyperinflation. Yeah, this is awesome. It talks about how the Fed, in the late 90s, the Fed began to use monetary policy as a political tool to what? Make us richer, not richer, feel richer. Then our economy could grow, inflating home prices, financial asset prices without, they thought, ever triggering wage and price inflation on the broader economy. Folks, Edward Matthew Buckley, sitting in the Board of Trade at the Options News Network, said that this would happen. A lot of people getting drunk and smoking crack thinking a hangover would never come. Wrong. So this lays out a pretty good. Oh, look at the Wall Street predicts a 10% earnings growth coming up. The Belkin report forecasts a negative 48% slump like 2009. Actual earnings could be even more extreme or somewhere in the middle, but I think that one, this is case for an earnings crash, recession, deglobalization costs, retirement of baby boomers, blah, blah, end of a 40-year bull market and interest rates, war in UK. This is a really, really good article. Let me give this to you as well. Yeah, Thomas, the VIX goes down when? Are you talking about today? Because let's talk about the VIX in general. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm telling you, man, this is not my first rodeo. Look at that. You have not seen the bottom of the bear market. The bottom of the bear market, well, first of all, let me do this. The bottom of the bear market will be characterized by that. Exactly, Thomas, I get you. And then followed by what? That. So again, tactically looking at the VIX, you can be forgiven for going, hey, everything's great. We have stayed elevated. Look at this, folks. The VIX was down here. Our resting heart rate for a good 8 months was what? 15. For the past 3 months, we've been at 25, man. It stair-stepped up. We had a resting heart rate of about 20 for a while. We went from 15 resting heart rate to 20 resting heart rate to 25. So the market is gently doing what? Gently kind of wringing their hands going, things aren't, it's a Han Solo. I got a bad feeling about this. So the VIX gently in a climb schedule is telling you something. This could be an afterburner trade. Now, usually that sort of spike in a VIX is what? Event based, usually, right? 9/11, Brexit, whatever. Government shutdown. This, ladies and gentlemen, we are watching what? A slow train wreck. We're just kind of stumbling, rumbling, bumbling, just down. I think it's going to take a big institution, man. Somebody, crypto is still kind of a shit show, nightmare, consolidating, people buying other companies. I bought Jack Dorsey's first tweet for $2.5 million, and I can't even get a free dinner for it. So it's the same thing as the market right now. Crypto's kind of going through this slow motion train wreck. The market's going through a slow motion train wreck, right? So I don't know if this earnings period, folks, is definitely going to be telling, right? But let me red team this real quick. Just talking about the S&P 500. Have S&P 500 companies done a great job of lowering the net? Every quarter, it seems like CNBC, 70% of those reporting so far have beat earnings. Well, when you say everything's shitty and then you come out and say it's less shitty, the stock goes up. I want to red team this because this ain't my first rodeo in an earnings season where I thought it was going to be absolutely a shit show. And then the market's like, hey, that wasn't that bad. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? So, yeah, and some companies are actually doing what? They cut forward guidance or they don't give it. So, folks, it's going to be interesting. Hell, the market might be thinking that earnings are going to be so bad that any glimmer of anything might be bullish and it goes up. Be very careful about that. Really, really interesting. I've seen that before, man. I've seen like, oh man, this earnings period is going to suck. And then they come out and say, well, it sucked less. So that's bullish. That can happen, folks. Okay. I think it was Hemo has been calling for, like a pop to 4,000. There are a lot of folks out there who are saying, oh yeah, we're still in a bear market. It's going to get worse and there's a shit show, but we can have a strong, like here, we could have a strong bear market. We've said this since day one, folks. Bear markets can have bear market rallies. That's why they're called bear market rallies. But and that's a tactical trade, folks. This is tactics. Little short squeeze. Remember, man, when something's on a tear, either join it or get out of the way. A tear can either be up or straight down. This is momentum investing. Ain't no fundamentals, ain't no volatility, ain't no technical analysis. This is nothing but momentum trading. I told you this earlier last week. Hey, man, when you wake up and you see the futures down a couple 100 points or whatever, buy puts at the open, close them in about 5 minutes later. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. This is momentum. It has nothing to do with anything smart. It's all momentum. And when that momentum shifts, it's momentum to the downside. So I briefed it earlier in the week. I said, what? Welcome to the summer of volatility. We're going to have ups, we're going to have downs, and I strongly recommend that you learn to dogfight the market, or you join our Max Afterburner team and learn how to dogfight. I mean, this is great. Look at Doug. Reloaded bull put spread from last week, flipped short calls, second dogfight this morning for another grand. Liking this tactic. Thank you, Wiz. It's awesome. Folks, the Hunters is only $4.97 a month. So there you go. Doug paid for his Hunters membership for 2 months. That's awesome. Doug Dogfight. Yeah, shoot me an email. I can send you the Hunters link. I don't have it handy. I'm obviously doing an annual, or doing go.ft Hunters. I think that's it. Yeah, here it is. Sorry. If you want to join the Hunters, it's $4.97 a month, or don't do $4.97 a month. Do the full throttle annual. That's a 50% discount, man. $4.97 a month for the Hunters. That gets you into this trade group, this trade club. This is good stuff. This is the Hunters. This is my instructor panel. It looks different on the website, obviously. You have your own little chat looking thing. And then this is Lifetime. Lifetime gets you access to everything, and for your lifetime. This is obviously month to month or an annual. So all right, so as far as AR, accelerated retirement, get long FXI. Go out into the future. I can't stand saying get bullish on China, but why wouldn't you? They're the enemy. Who cares? Gordon Gekko, Wiz, I can't stand China. Their existential threat to our democracy. Will most likely be at war with China. Hopefully not in my lifetime or my children's lifetime, but it's coming. There, I said it. Now, being Gordon Gekko, make money off of it. Other than that, I put on an SPX bear call spread for the day. Instead of doing 15 contracts, I kind of did 5 instead. I did, that's risking about $1,900 to make 600. Quick day trade, pay for dinner tonight. Sills has options now, but who cares if Sill has options? Why? I don't trade options on stocks under $10. They're an option. If you want to get bullish and long Sill, you buy the ETF. You don't trade the options. That just makes no sense to me. These just came out too, and there's no volume and no open interest. MindMed, Cybin, we talked about earlier in the week. This was a good article on MindMed. MindMed reassures investors of the NASDAQ delisting fears. I covered this in the primary live trade brief, but they might do a reverse split, like a 4-for-1 split to get their stock price up. I briefed you when Cody said this. Cody, his hedge fund has like a $300, $500 million in the psychedelic space. The dude said, hey man, this year half the psychedelic companies are going to go bankrupt, and the ones that stay are going to be the Death Stars, the behemoths. So I own a couple thousand shares of MindMed, long-term bullish on the psychedelic space, clearly. My niece works for, who'd she start working with? Hey, Uncle Matt, happy 4th. Meant to send you this last week, but work got in my way. I'm at KPMG now in consulting. Teams put out white papers on various topics for clients, and I saw one last week about the psychedelics market. It was more so about VC and how these pharma companies are getting funding, but I thought it was so cool because they highlighted the growing industry and all the competition popping up. So really, I could not be more bullish on the space. You guys know where I am with my project. No Fallen Heroes. We're changing the narrative on it. When you can get a decorated Navy SEAL who's been awarded the Navy Cross, and Wiz, a former Hornet pilot, laying on a bed in Mexico, and we say it's saved our lives or changed our lives, I'd be bullish on whatever that shit is. I am bullish on whatever that shit is. I think I'm going to do an annual retreat for me, man, maybe right around my birthday, December 31st, New Year's Eve. It's funny because I always catch my daughter with this. She doesn't understand it. Maybe someday she will. I can never say my birthday is next year. I always bring that up when we go out to dinner on my birthday. Keely, when's my birthday? I can never say my birthday is next year, even on the last day of the year, December 31st. If anybody ever asks me, when's your birthday? It's never next year. It's always this year. Isn't that weird? MindMed did something because E-Trade charged me $38 2 days ago. Andrew, that absolutely physically makes no sense at all to me. You have a debit from the company in your E-Trade account? I have got to look into this. What mandatory exchange? I have no idea what that means. An exchange fee? You got to email support, man. Call E-Trade and be like, what's this charge for? It tells you how much I look at my account. Maybe I should actually start paying attention to shit like that. And bought back the 3,700 put. IB told me it was a merger, but I was not charged. All right, folks, everybody who's in MindMed, go take a look at your trade statement. Mike, it would be under your transactions. I have no idea what that's. Look under your transactions. 1758. Reorg fee reversal. Dude, that is bad. I have no idea. Nothing happened to Tastyworks. They charged me and reversed it. All right, folks. Well, there you go. There's some mutual support. Everybody, take a look at your MindMed. As soon as I get off the webinar here, I'm going to look at mine and see what that charge is for. I don't know what that means, so we need to look into that. And bought back the 3,700 put yesterday, and you're holding the 3,725, waiting for SP. Yes, exactly, and you nailed it. That's how it's not a strategy; it's a tactic. Your strategy is the market's volatile right now. Strategic mindset, different. Strategy is a strategy. You are implementing the dogfight tactic. That is what we call a tactic. So yeah, you got out of your short put and took the profit on it as the market went up. Now you wait for it to roll over to maybe reload that short put. If the market decides to roll over and implode, hang out in your long put and just smoke your dollar bills. If it decides to stop, reload it. So yes, you are thinking about it correctly. Or, you ready? If you got out of your short put, made money, now you're just holding the long put. As the market goes down, if you make money on that put, close that one too. Just now you're out of everything and reload another bear put spread. You can do that. So, all right, yeah, something happened with that, guys, and then they reversed it or whatever. So just keep an eye on all of that type of stuff. It sounds like it. So, okay, there we go. All right, so it sounds like a lot of people had it reversed or something. It's some weird, whatever, folks. It's paperwork. Make sure they reverse it because it sounds like they reversed other people's. All right, guys, I got to get going, man. Gonna go fill up the family truckster. We're gonna go take our time driving down there. We usually stop at what's it called, Robbie's, some tarpon place where we get sandwiches and they stop and feed the tarpon and all that stuff. You all have Bart tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Take a look at his charts, man. He's doing some good work. If you are not in Tomcat charts, you are missing out on a lot of good stuff. Looks like 38.90 is going to be some resistance for the day. I would enjoy that. And I will see you all Monday, man. So Bart, tomorrow morning, shoot me an email if you want to get that monthly lifetime membership to learn how to dogfight with your fellow TGO members. Remember, we have 2 threads. This is where we post all of our trades, and then this is where we post all of our intel. The Hunters is less expensive, but Tamara's over here. Arrow should be over here in Lifetime. See, Arrow, I'm not seeing you. There's something wrong, Arrow. I sent you both links. I sent you the GroupMe link for both of these threads, and you should be able to log in. So thanks, Kathy. I will. Every day is a blessing. Every day is an incredible memory. I thank God for the bad days too, man. Right? I thank God also for unanswered prayers. So, all right, folks, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Tamara, she actually joined the Lifetime monthly membership yesterday, so she will be moving out of the Hunters and over to Lifetime. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. Fights on, and namaste. I'll talk to you guys Monday.